haven't read it since I actually got this person's ashes tattooed onto me. So I feel like I should read it now. Seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Do you remember when everything seemed new and exciting? When the world seemed open to everyone and nothing could ever hold you back? Do you remember when you discovered the things that brought you joy? How excited you were when that sketch turned into a painting? When the toys you were playing with defeated the villain and rode off into the sunset? Do you remember when you saw that fish at the pet store and despite what your parents actually thought for you, we bought it anyways? Do you remember when you went camping and you thought that nothing would ever crush your ambitions and that nothing would snatch away this perfect picture you had painted of your life, where love is life and life means everything will work out because nothing can take it away? I remember the day that came that made everything come crashing down and nothing made sense anymore, when the world seemed to flip upside down and you landed several miles from home with no clue on how the hell to get back. I remember the shouting, the awful shouting where the words banged around in your head for hours and every bounce made you cringe and wish you had something to carve those horrid things out of your head. I remember the loneliness. I remember that you used to cry in the corner alone in the dark because even though we got tossed together, you felt that crushing pitch blackness was better than that glaring bright sunlight where you had to shield your eyes away from that joy. I wish I had known how to help you. I wish with all my heart that we didn't have to go through that together and I would have noticed sooner. I wish I would have just seen how clingy that bastard darkness was going to be, and I wish that someone would have lent out a hand and dragged you away. When they didn't, I saw the change. It was slow at first, like being stuck in tar and trying to walk. The deeper we got, the worse it seemed, until that sticky black poison devoured us and got inside. Do you remember how we tried to save ourselves? Do you remember the blade? The empty snake oil promise of all the problems being solved and that beautiful sheen and flash that said it would save us. We tried to cut ourselves free. We tried to manage to get back up enough to see the sunlight that at first seemed glaring now seems so warm and reassuring that all we wanted was even a small taste of that warmth. Yet all we managed to do was sink ourselves lower. It grew cold down there, all alone. So cold we began to feel numb everywhere. The thought that the darkness would swallow you up seemed to be the only thought looming in your mind, unable to scream for help. Simply, you just laid there. The slashing didn't cut it anymore. The deeper you got, the more you began to realize that eventually you would hit something. Eventually you would stack up the odds enough that they could be 1,000,000 to 1, and there's no chance in hell you would flip that coin and land on one. Eventually you would strike an oil deposit and just become another news story played when everyone was asleep and no one cared anymore. And then it happened. Someone reached out. Someone noticed you were drowning and dragged you out of that tar pit of despair to wash you off. All that slashing that you thought ruined you became irrelevant, and it seemed like maybe, just maybe, there was hope again. It seemed like there could be sunlight again. It seemed that that could have been the end of it and you could walk again. But I saw you. I saw you wander around like a newborn foal, unsteady and unsure about everything. I saw you glance at those toys and wish they would burn in a fire. I saw you stare at the camping photos and hold back the tears of the fact that it could never be the same again, and you lost that feeling, that once bright and happy feeling that made you content. I saw how you kept glancing back at that corner, wanting the comfort of the dark. I saw you want to be alone, shut yourself down, and pretend you were there. Do you remember me watching with the lessening hope that one day you would be okay and I could get you back? I remember calling you home, but unable to scream loud enough for you to hear. I remember my daughter. Can you bring her back to me? I miss her. Thank you.